Well, welcome to the Top Gun Show. On the show today is Blaise Brady, the National Director of Channel Sales at QOS Networks, the sponsor of this month's Top Gun Show. Prior to his nearly 2 years at QOS Networks, Blaise has held sales leadership and sales partner development positions at Windstream, CenturyLink, Spectrum Business, and Level 3. He's a telecommunications expert with over 20 years experience who truly understands the mind of the customer as well as the sales partner. Blaise, welcome to the Top Gun Show.
Thank you so much for having me, Steve. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for sponsoring. It's great to tell your story.
You know, I've watched the Top Gun Show for many years, and I've always kind of wondered, I'm like, how do I get on the Top Gun Show? So I guess the good news is now I don't have to wonder any longer. So
now you can sleep well tonight knowing that you finally made that goal.
That's right.
Well, Blaise, give us a high-level overview of QOS Networks. Who are you guys and what services do you sell?
Thanks, Steve. So QOS Networks is purpose-built to manage the entire customer edge. And what I mean by that is that it goes beyond just the basic thought process of managing, an SD-WAN or even managing a WAN solution. It really delivers an entire edge experience. The way we do that is with our homegrown solution called the Intelligent Network Platform. The Intelligent Network Platform allows us to provide insight to the customer. Of course, much more important than just providing information. It allows us to have a faster remediation. It allows us to have analytics. And therefore, we can bring all of that data, all of the insight, all the analytics, and all the performance back to the customer's edge. And by doing that, that also allows us to be a technology agnostic over the top solution, right? And what that really, boils down to a customer's perspective is now the customer can get the QoS experience through a VeloCloud solution, through a Versa solution, through a Prisma SD-WAN solution, used to be called CloudGenix. And honestly, we can virtually take over pretty much any enterprise-grade SD-WAN solution and provide that edge experience.
Well, that's fascinating. I want to key on the term you used, purpose-built. What exactly does that mean, and what's the impact for the customer?
So there's a lot of managed solutions out there in the marketplace today. And I'm going to be very careful to never badmouth my competition, but the thought process is that when QoS opened our doors, right? Whenever in 2012, when we started our business, I wasn't at QoS at the time, but whenever we opened the doors, the goal at that point in time was to provide a reputable, managed customer experience where the customer would be happy, referenceable customer. And it was built to provide that edge experience. And then our CEO, which I give him tons of credit, he saw kind of around the bend and he realized that SD-WAN was going to be that next big thing when it came to WAN into wide area networking. So he, at that time, I think 5, 6, maybe 7 years ago, started pushing the SD-WAN solution and providing that managed SD-WAN to our customers.
Great. I love CEOs that can see around the bend. I mean, that's an incredible skill, and it's great for the entire organization. And then the other point I wanted to touch on is you mentioned, that not all managed SD-WAN services are the same. Elaborate a little more on how your services stand apart from the sea of people offering managed SD-WAN service.
So there's going to be a couple of points, and I'm going to break them down into, I think, honestly, 3 points, right? The first point is that our managed solution is proactive. What that means to the customer and what that means to the partner is that the customer isn't just calling into an 800 number or calling into a group saying, hey, I'm experiencing a problem, and then the managed service provider starts working, right? It's a butts and seats solution, right? Where if there's enough butts and seats to answer the phone, then they're going to manage, they're going to be a reactive management. Because we're proactive, because we're monitoring on multiple levels, right? We're monitoring at API level, syslog, ITSM, SNMP, we're monitoring at multiple levels. We are going to report back to the customer more times than they're going to report to us. And we're going to say, hey, we're noticing this issue, right? We're identifying this issue and we're taking action. And here are the actions we're going to take. We're going to push that information out to their portal, or we're going to communicate them, pretty much whichever way the customer wants to communicate, whether it's email, phone, etc. Right? We're gonna be proactive. The second thing that differentiates us is that is how we do it. Right? It's not, it's by taking that proactive monitoring and taking that, all those, again, those analytics of API and syslog and SMP and all those things, we then take that data and we digest it and we provide insight back to the customer. So what is insight, right? That's a question that I often, address, or where I talk about the difference between information and insight. Right? Information is very simple, right? If you're talking about the information of driving a car, you would say, well, you have a steering wheel, you have a gas pedal, you have a brake pedal, you have a gear shift, right? That's the information. Insight would be, well, if you're driving on an icy road or a snowy road and you're going downhill, you want to make sure you downshift as opposed to brake, right? Or if you're driving in a very, very cold, is it rain, is it ice, is it snow? You listen, are the tires making noise? Can I hear tire? Okay, it's wet. I can't hear anything. That means it's icy, right? You're going to want to change your driving behavior. That's insight, right? Insight is actionable information. So now we provide that information, or the insight, I should say, back to the customer, and they can make that educated decision about their network, the educated decision about their solution. And then last but not least, we're providing this holistic visibility, right? The holistic visibility of whatever we're managing, right? Most of our customers, because I said it's not just managed SD-WAN, it's managed edge. We're gonna add on management of maybe a security device, right? The SASE conversation. We're gonna add on a wireless device. We're gonna add on other aspects of their edge. Maybe it's a cradle point or a digibox to provide that 4G backup. And therefore we have that visibility control for that customer.
Very nice. Very thorough answer. I like that. Well, Blaise, I know you're a big fan of the Top Gun Show, and that I know there are millions and millions of people watching you right now. Tell the viewers a fun little known fact about yourself.
Well, I guess a fun fact about myself is it's a maybe silly one, and some people know this, but I live at 9,000 feet. I live in Colorado. I live up in the mountains of Colorado, about an hour and a half west of Denver. And I literally have pictures of moose, bears, elk, mountain lions in my yard, and I love it. I don't think I could live anyplace else.
Well, you're a pretty smart guy for not having any oxygen. That's pretty cool. Thanks for sharing. Well, today we just scratched the surface about the unique offering of QOS Networks. Join us next week as we'll take a deeper dive into the services and solutions. Don't miss it. Blaise, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks a lot, Steve. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching, everybody.